My name is Erik Praskins and I am your host of the Erik Sells Real Estate Show. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 buyer tips and negotiation strategies. I just had a great weekend up in the Pines and I enjoyed the cooler weather in Flagstaff, Arizona. And one of the days we rented one of those, those 4-seater RZR type vehicles, and we went on an all-day trail ride with some relatives and friends. It was one of the most fun times I have ever had as we zoomed around the trails. We made it to a spot called the End of the World, which is a very remote location overlooking Flagstaff and Sedona. The views were unbelievable. The terrain was super rocky and bumpy, and my boys were like screaming their heads off and screaming my name, "Dad, make it stop!" But they were troopers. We all came back literally caked in dirt. It was so much fun, and we'll be remembering this for a long time. Remember, it's all about creating memories, and I encourage you to make time to creating memories for you and your family, especially while your kids are young. Even though we are currently in a market that favors sellers and prices are going up in the Phoenix, Arizona market, there's 3 important strategies the buyers can use as they navigate and make their way to finding their dream home. Tip number 1 is negotiate the price of the home. One of the very best ways to measure your offer is by looking at comparables that have sold recently in the area that you want to buy. Remember that comparable homes need to be similar, such as square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms, upgrades, and proximity to the one that you want to buy in order to get a good estimate of what you can buy your house at. Then you should check to see what homes in the area are currently listed for. See how long they've been sitting on the market for, looking at their photos online, and then compare. All of this information can help you understand the current market and give you a valuable insight on how aggressive you can be with your offer. Ask your realtor to assist you in this process as they have direct access to the MLS. And tip number 2 is ask the sellers to pay for your closing costs. There are costs associated with buying the home, such as loan processing fees, appraisal fees, and title fees. Sometimes it can be difficult to not only save enough money for your down payment for your loan, but also for the closing costs associated with the loan. Getting the seller to cover some of or all of your closing costs will be a huge win and get you into the home for less money out of pocket. As each scenario is different, ask your lender to go into detail on the exact costs you will have and get a good idea up front. With the market as being as hot as it is, with homes selling quickly, it is imperative that you're working with a realtor who can help negotiate the seller-paid closing costs for you. And tip number 3 is ask the sellers to pay for repairs. Before February of 2017, the real estate contract in Arizona stated that sellers needed to make certain repairs which were warranted items if they were found to be not working. Well, this created a lot of confusion and lawsuits for buyers and sellers, and there's a new contract that came out in February of this year addressing this issue. So basically now, sellers are not obligated to fix anything. Well, a word of advice is you may want to spend some extra time looking around the house before you actually submit an offer, just so you have a pretty good idea of what you may be getting yourself into. After helping many people buy and sell homes over the last 13 years, I can say that basically all homes will have some sort of repair issues, even new builds for that matter. After you complete the inspection of the house, you'll receive an inspection report that will have a list of items that the inspector will recommend being repaired. Go ahead and ask for as much as you think you can get away with. If you ask for everything, sometimes the sellers will become agitated. And I have seen it where it really backfires and the sellers don't want to do anything then because they feel insulted. Try to stay reasonable with your repair requests if you can. An additional tip, if you are handy or willing to take on some of the repairs yourself, you can suggest that you'd be willing to accept a dollar amount in lieu of the sellers making some of the repairs. Many times sellers don't want to go to the trouble of actually making the repairs, so I found that if you make a reasonable offer where the seller will contribute towards closing costs in lieu of the repairs, and this can make it a winning scenario for you as the buyer. Well, that wraps up episode number 6 of the Erik Sells Real Estate Show, where we give you tips and strategies on Arizona real estate. Keep sending in your questions, and I'll be happy to answer them. I look forward to seeing you next time, and God bless.
See how long I can hold this plank for. Well, that wraps up episode number 6 of the Erik Sells Real Estate Show. Does this look good on me? Is it easier to watch my videos with this over my head?
Does this look better with these on?